Yo, what is up guys? Delboy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully you guys are doing well. If you're new here, smash that like, hit subscribe, all of that good stuff. So, predictably, Joyce defeats Michael Wallish by a third round TKO. Now, for the most part, as expected, this fight was a one-sided affair. Joyce pretty much had it all his own way, for the most part. And yeah, he lives up to his end of the bargain. He's won his interim fight, so he is now ready to fight Daniel Dubois in October. Obviously, now Dubois needs to win his interim fight in August. So hopefully he comes through that. Providing he does, we get the fight between Joyce and Daniel Dubois. But in regards to this fight, like I said, Joyce was in control pretty much throughout. However, in round one, Joyce looked fairly slow, fairly sluggish. He won the round, don't get me wrong. He was the guy applying pressure. He was the guy throwing more shots. And overall, he clearly landed the better shots. You know, some good left hooks to the body, chopping right hands over the top to the head. Some nice jabs as well. Joyce definitely won round one. But in round one, Wallish was actually catching Joyce with several overhand rights, bang on the chin. You know, Joyce's porous defense once again on display. That's not really a surprise at this point that Wallish was able to tag Joyce. But he never really made it count. He never really put a dent in Joyce's chin. So Joyce kept on marauding forwards and yeah, he kept on applying pressure. He wasn't really deterred by what Wallish was doing. Wallish actually tried to start aggressively in round two. He landed a few good shots, but then Joyce kind of regained control. He was landing some nice shots, body to head. Wallish landed a few punches here and there after his quick start to round two, but then he was dropped by a chopping right hand to the head. He basically dropped to one knee, but he managed to beat the count and he managed to see out round two. Round three was where this fight ended. Joyce sent Wallish to the canvas with a left hook. Wallish actually continued, but then Joyce kind of jumped right back on him and nailed him with a nice right hand to the top of the head, and then followed up with a left hook to the body, which dropped Michael Wallish to his knees, and then the referee waved this fight off. So yeah, a pretty comprehensive performance from Joyce, but at the same time, you know, particularly in that first round and early in the second round, he was getting caught with a lot of shots, particularly Michael Wallish's right hand. He did look slow, his defence really wasn't on point, and yeah, all in all, it was just a satisfactory performance against a less than stellar opponent. So he got the job done, but was he all that impressive? I'll be honest, in my opinion, not really. It was kind of what I was expecting, you know. It was pretty much the average Joyce fight. Just come forwards, throw a volume of punches, apply pressure, and watch the guy in front of you break. That is essentially Joyce's game. He's a pressure fighter who throws a ton of punches. Now, going into that Dubois fight, will that work? Obviously, I can see a scenario where that does work. If he takes Dubois deep waters and, you know, is making him work hard, maybe he could drown Dubois in the late rounds, maybe. But it's getting there. And with his defense the way it is, I'm not convinced, I have to say. I know Dubois is very unproven, I get that. I know Joyce has fought a higher level of competition. I know he was a good amateur, I get all that, but, you know, the guy for me just doesn't convince me that he'll be a world level fighter. I don't think he's got the ability, and I don't think that style will actually bring him to the elite level in the heavyweight division. Whereas Daniel Dubois, despite him being green, despite him being unproven, I certainly see that guy as having a higher ceiling than Joyce. So, yeah, going into this Dubois fight, it's not really changed my mind in all honesty. I still feel the same way about that fight that I did before this fight, so there we go. But anyway, Joyce gets a third round stoppage, you know, fairly exciting, fairly fun. He is an exciting fighter, no matter how far he does go. He'll certainly be in good fights, but can he get to the elite level in the heavyweight division? I'm not convinced, I've got to say. I'm not convinced, but time will tell. I've been wrong before, and I'll certainly be wrong again, but I'm pretty certain on this one. I've got to admit, I'm pretty certain. But there we go. Share your thoughts below. What did you think of this fight? Peace.